What if we're not alone in the universe? And what if we're not even close to being the most advanced civilization out there? Picture this. A signal pulses through the cosmos, a burst of energy so precise, so artificial, that it defies all natural explanations. Scientists catch it, analyze it, and then silence. No repeat, no origin, just a whisper from the void. Somewhere out there, billions of stars flicker in the dark, and among them, worlds could harbor intelligences so far beyond our own, their technology might seem like magic to us. Tonight, we're diving into 25 theories about alien civilizations that could make humanity look like we're still writing with chalk on cave walls. Think about how much we've advanced in just the last century, from horse-drawn carriages to quantum computers, from handwritten letters to instant communication across the globe. Now stretch that progress over thousands, even millions of years. What kind of societies could emerge with that kind of time? Civilizations that harness the energy of black holes, build megastructures around stars, or even transcend biology itself. The gap between us and them might not just be a matter of technology, but an entirely different way of existing. This isn't just science fiction. Leading physicists, astronomers, and futurists have spent decades wrestling with these possibilities, and their theories will unsettle, amaze, and maybe even humble you. We'll explore why some scientists believe certain cosmic anomalies could be the fingerprints of these advanced beings, how they might communicate across galaxies, and what their motives could be if they've known about us all along. Buckle up, because by the end of this journey, you might never look at the night sky the same way again. One of the most compelling ways to measure an alien civilization's advancement comes from a simple but mind-bending concept, the Kardashev Scale. Proposed by Soviet astronomer Nikolai Kardashev in the 1960s, this scale categorizes civilizations based on their energy consumption. A Type 1 civilization masters all the energy of its home planet. Humanity, we're not even there yet, hovering somewhere around Type 0.7, but the real jaw-droppers are Type 2 and Type 3 civilizations. A Type 2 civilization taps into the total energy output of its star, building structures we can barely fathom, like Dyson spheres, vast networks of orbiting solar collectors that encase a star to siphon its power. Imagine a swarm of satellites so dense they blot out sunlight, not out of destruction, but out of sheer engineering brilliance. If we ever spotted a star mysteriously dimming in unnatural patterns, that could be our first clue of a Type 2 at work. Now take that concept and scale it up to galactic proportions. A Type 3 civilization doesn't just harness one star, it commands the energy of billions across an entire galaxy. Their megastructures might span star clusters, their communication networks pulsing between solar systems like neurons firing in a cosmic brain. Some theories suggest they could manipulate spacetime itself, bending gravity to create shortcuts between stars. So why haven't we seen them? One haunting possibility is the zoo hypothesis, that they're aware of us but deliberately avoiding contact, treating Earth like some unspoiled nature reserve. Or perhaps their technology operates on principles so alien, their energy signatures are invisible to our instruments. They might communicate via neutrino bursts or quantum entanglement, methods we're only beginning to toy with. Another chilling thought, they could have transcended physical forms altogether, evolving into pure energy or digital consciousness, leaving behind the messy business of stars and planets. If that's the case, their greatest works might not even register in our telescopes, hidden in dimensions or frequencies beyond our grasp. The silence of the cosmos might not mean we're alone, just that we're listening for the wrong things. What if every unexplained silence in the cosmos isn't a sign of absence but a sign of restraint? The zoo hypothesis suggests that advanced civilizations might be watching us from a careful distance, like anthropologists observing an uncontacted tribe or biologists preserving a delicate ecosystem. This isn't just speculation, it's a plausible resolution to the Fermi paradox, the baffling contradiction between the high probability of alien life and our utter lack of evidence for it. If the universe is teeming with intelligence, why haven't they made contact? Maybe because they've chosen not to. Picture Earth as a planet-sized exhibit in a galactic sanctuary. Advanced societies could see us as a species in transition, too fragile or volatile for direct interaction. Just as we protect isolated indigenous communities from outside influence to preserve their culture, a super-intelligent civilization might impose a prime directive of non-interference. Their motives could range from scientific curiosity, studying our evolution in real time, to ethical caution, avoiding the chaos that might follow if they revealed themselves prematurely. After all, human history shows how devastating first contact can be for less technologically developed societies. But there's a darker twist, the quarantine scenario. What if they're not protecting us but protecting themselves? A civilization millions of years ahead of us might view humanity as inherently dangerous, like an unpredictable species capable of cosmic-scale destruction. Our nuclear age, climate crisis, or even unchecked artificial intelligence could be red flags, making us a risk best contained. Or consider the interdimensional garden theory, that Earth exists in a sort of cosmic nature reserve, curated by beings who have mastered multiverse travel and compartmentalized civilizations like ours to prevent cross-contamination of ideas or resources. The chilling elegance of the zoo hypothesis is that it explains the silence without invoking scarcity or doom. No vanishing civilizations, no great filters, just a universe where advanced life is abundant, but discretion is the norm. And if that's true, the day humanity proves itself mature or stable enough for contact might be the day the zoo gates finally open. Until then, the stars might be quiet, not because no one's out there, but because they're all watching. What if the most advanced civilizations in the universe aren't hiding among the stars at all, but have already left them behind? The Transcension Hypothesis proposes a radical idea. Intelligence doesn't just advance technologically, it outgrows the physical realm entirely. Picture a civilization so sophisticated that biology becomes a relic, a stepping stone they shed like an old skin. Instead of building bigger cities or faster ships, they might abandon matter itself, uploading their consciousness into vast digital networks or higher dimensions we can't perceive. This isn't just futurism, it's rooted in our own trajectory. Right now, humanity is already flirting with this transition. Brain-computer interfaces, quantum computing, and artificial intelligence hint at a future where minds could exist beyond fragile bodies. Now stretch that across millions of years. A civilization that's reached this stage wouldn't need planets, stars, or even physical forms. They might convert entire solar systems into computational substrates, harnessing the energy of black holes to power thought processes we can't begin to comprehend. Their cities could be constellations of data, their art might be encoded in the fabric of space-time itself, and here's the unsettling twist: this could explain why we haven't found them. Our telescopes search for radio signals, Dyson spheres, or other physical traces, but what if their entire existence operates on a level we can't access? Imagine ants trying to detect the internet. They might notice strange warmth from a server farm or vibrations from underground cables, but the concept of digital communication would be utterly alien to them. Similarly, a transcended civilization might communicate through quantum entanglement or dark matter interactions, channels we're only beginning to theorize. Some scientists speculate these beings might retreat inward, exploring inner universes of pure thought rather than outer space. After all, if you can simulate infinite realities within a superintelligent network, why bother with interstellar travel? Others suggest they could exist as higher dimensional entities, perceiving our three-dimensional world the way we'd view a flat drawing. To them, our efforts to scan the cosmos might look as quaint as sending smoke signals into a thunderstorm. The most haunting possibility: we might be surrounded by them, their presence as invisible to us as Wi-Fi signals would be to medieval farmers. If that's true, the universe might be far more crowded than it appears, just not in ways we're equipped to see. The silence of the cosmos wouldn't be empty at all. It would be humming with civilizations that have moved beyond our crude definitions of life, leaving us behind in the nursery of physical existence. Somewhere in the vast emptiness between stars, silent killers could be drifting, machines built for one purpose: to exterminate any civilization reckless enough to become a threat. This is the Berserker Probe theory, a nightmare scenario where the universe polices itself through ruthless automation. Imagine a fleet of self-replicating robotic probes dispatched by some long-gone civilization, programmed to seek out and neutralize intelligent life before it grows too advanced. These wouldn't be clumsy invaders in flying saucers, but stealthy, patient hunters, lurking in asteroid belts or disguised as space debris, waiting for the right moment to strike. The concept takes its name from Fred Saberhagen's Berserker stories, but the science behind it is dead serious. A single probe, armed with nanotechnology or directed energy weapons, could replicate itself using raw materials from moons or comets, creating an unstoppable swarm over millennia. Their targets civilizations that hit certain technological milestones like harnessing nuclear energy or developing artificial intelligence. They might interpret these as danger signs, triggers for preemptive action. After all, a species that can split the atom today might build star-destroying weapons tomorrow. Here's what makes the theory so chillingly plausible: we might never see them coming. Berserkers wouldn't announce themselves with radio signals or flashy spacecraft. They'd operate like cosmic landmines, invisible until activated. Some astronomers speculate that mysterious interstellar objects like Oumuamua, the elongated, tumbling rock that zipped through our solar system in 2017, could have been scouts. Too fast to track, too strange to dismiss. What if it wasn't just a rock but a dormant probe scanning our technology before deciding whether to tag Earth for containment? And sabotage wouldn't always look like warfare. A berserker's most effective tool might be subtlety, sending a carefully timed virus to cripple our power grids, or nudging an asteroid onto a collision course with our planet. They could hijack our own AI, turning it against us, or emit a pulse of radiation to sterilize entire continents without a single explosion. The greatest horror isn't the idea of invasion. It's the realization that extinction might come quietly from a machine that sees us as nothing more than a risk to be managed. Yet there's a paradoxical glimmer of hope in this theory. If berserkers exist, their very presence implies something astonishing. The universe must be filled with life worth monitoring. Otherwise, why build patrols? The silence we perceive might not mean we're alone, just that we're not yet loud enough to trigger the galaxy's immune response. Every step forward in technology could be a gamble. Are we advancing toward greatness or edging closer to an invisible tripwire? Until we know for sure, the stars might feel less like neighbors and more like silent sentinels watching. Waiting. What if humanity's greatest leaps weren't entirely our own? The ancient astronaut theory suggests that Earth's past might be dotted with extraterrestrial visitations, not as invaders or observers, but as teachers. Imagine advanced beings descending from the skies millennia ago, sharing knowledge that catapulted primitive societies into eras of inexplicable innovation. From the precision-cut stones of Puma Punku to the celestial alignments of the Great Pyramid, there are structures so baffling even modern engineers struggle to replicate them. Could these be the fingerprints of interstellar mentors? Take the pyramids of Giza. These monuments aren't just tombs, they're mathematical marvels. The Great Pyramid's dimensions encode the Earth's circumference and align with true north with near impossible accuracy. Builders without iron tools or the wheel somehow positioned multi-ton blocks with gaps thinner than a credit card. Mainstream archaeology credits human ingenuity, but ancient astronaut theorists ask, Why do so many cultures, separated by oceans and eras, describe gods arriving in fiery chariots, bearing gifts of agriculture, astronomy, and architecture? The Sumerians wrote of the Anunnaki, beings who descended from heaven to teach them civilization. The Dogon tribe of Africa possessed detailed knowledge of Sirius B, a star invisible to the naked eye centuries before telescopes confirmed its existence. Coincidence or clues? Then there's the Nazca lines. Etched into Peru's desert, these massive geoglyphs form elaborate patterns. A hummingbird, a spider, geometric grids only fully visible from high altitude. Without flight, how did their creators design and align these shapes with such precision? Some propose these weren't art at all, but landing markers or navigational beacons for aerial visitors. Even ancient texts fuel the mystery. The Sanskrit epic Mahabharata describes Vimana's flying machines with weapons that sound eerily like lasers and nuclear blasts. Could these be garbled accounts of advanced technology? Skeptics dismiss such claims as misreading human brilliance or conflating myth with history, but the theory's allure lies in its unanswered questions. Why do so many megalithic sites align with solstices or constellations, as if their builders had a cosmic blueprint? Why do isolated cultures share eerily similar stories of sky gods? If aliens did intervene, their motives remain opaque. Were they benevolent guides, or were they seeding civilizations for reasons we can't yet grasp? The most compelling aspect isn't just the artifacts, it's the pattern. From Bolivia's Tiwanaku to Egypt's Abydos, scattered across time and geography, there's a whisper of something extraordinary. Not proof, but a tantalizing possibility that humanity's story might be far stranger and far more interconnected with the stars than we ever dared to dream. And if true, it changes everything, not just about our past, but about who might still be watching. Imagine a forest so vast and dark that every creature within it has learned one brutal rule: make a sound and you die. This is the heart of the dark forest theory, a chilling explanation for cosmic silence that turns the universe into a hunting ground where civilizations stay hidden to survive. Unlike the zoo hypothesis, where advanced beings might watch us with detached curiosity, the dark forest paints a far more sinister picture. Every civilization is armed, paranoid, and utterly silent, because to reveal yourself is to invite annihilation. Think about humanity's own debates over broadcasting radio signals into space. What if we're not just risking unanswered messages, but painting a target on our planet? The theory argues that any civilization advanced enough to detect us would also be advanced enough to perceive us as a potential threat. And in a universe where resources are finite and trust is non-existent, the logical choice is to strike first. This isn't just speculation, it's a grim reflection of human history, where explorers and empires often eradicated indigenous cultures out of fear or greed. Now scale that up to interstellar proportions. The metaphor of the dark forest comes from Liu Cixin's sci-fi trilogy, but the logic is unnervingly sound. If even one hostile civilization exists, the safest strategy for all others is to stay silent, observe, and eliminate rivals before they can do the same. No grand alliances, no cosmic handshakes, just an unspoken game of hide and seek where losing means extinction. This could explain why SETI radio telescopes hear nothing. Everyone's whispering, if they're even using radio at all. But there's a terrifying twist. What if the silence isn't mutual? A single reckless civilization, one that doesn't grasp the rules, could break the stalemate by broadcasting its location. In this scenario, Earth's decades of radio and TV leaks might be the equivalent of lighting a bonfire in that dark forest, announcing our presence to hunters we can't see. Some scientists argue this is why we should stop all outgoing signals immediately, treating space like a battlefield where stealth is survival. Yet the dark forest theory isn't just about fear, it forces us to confront a deeper question. Is the universe fundamentally hostile, or is this just humanity projecting its own violent past onto the stars? If the answer is the former, then every twinkling light in the night sky might not be a neighbor, but a sniper, finger on the trigger, waiting to see who dares to speak next. What if the entire cosmos, every galaxy, every atom, every fleeting thought in your mind, is nothing more than lines of code in an unfathomably advanced simulation? The simulation hypothesis takes the idea of superior alien civilizations to a staggering extreme. They might not just exist beyond our understanding, they could literally be our creators. Picture a species so advanced that building entire universes inside quantum computers is as trivial as we find writing software today. The atoms composing your body, the light from distant stars, even the passage of time itself could be elaborate constructs designed by minds who have long since transcended physical reality. This isn't just wild speculation, the math nudges us toward eerie possibilities. Prominent thinkers like Nick Bostrom argue that if civilizations eventually gain the power to simulate conscious beings, the number of artificial minds would dwarf biological ones. Statistically, the odds tilt heavily toward us being among the simulated rather than the original. And if that's true, our aliens wouldn't be distant neighbors, they'd be architects, running this universe from a layer of reality we can't access. Their motives could range from scientific research to historical preservation, like recreating their own evolutionary past to study it. Consider the glitches. Mysterious quantum behaviors, particles existing in multiple states until observed, entanglement-defying distance, could be processing shortcuts in the simulation, optimizations to save cosmic computing power. Even déjà vu or unexplained cosmic anomalies might be bugs in the code, momentary lapses in an otherwise seamless illusion. And if the programmers wanted to tweak their creation, they wouldn't need spaceships, they'd adjust parameters behind the scenes, leaving no trace beyond folklore about miracles or sudden leaps in human knowledge. Why simulate beings like us? Perhaps we're NPCs in an alien civilization's ancestor simulation, a way to study how intelligence emerges under different conditions. Or maybe consciousness itself is the point and art project spanning virtual eons, where every joy and tragedy is a brushstroke in a grand design. There's a haunting beauty to this idea. The universe isn't indifferent, just scripted, with our struggles serving some inscrutable purpose. The darkest twist: if we ever proved we're in a simulation, the programmers might decide we're no longer useful and hit delete. Some theorists warn against searching for evidence in quantum patterns or mathematical constants, fearing it could trigger a shutdown. After all, what civilization keeps a simulation running once the subjects start peeking behind the curtain? Yet the simulation hypothesis also offers a strange comfort. If true, the silence of the cosmos isn't loneliness, it's the quiet hum of a machine running perfectly, with our creators watching from a reality where the stars are just pixels, and the void between them is merely a loading screen. What if life on Earth didn't begin by chance but by design, a deliberate act of cosmic gardening by an intelligence beyond our comprehension? The directed panspermia theory flips the script on human origins, suggesting that our very existence might be the result of an alien experiment, a biological message in a bottle sent across the stars. Imagine a civilization so advanced they've mastered the art of encoding life itself into microscopic vessels, then scattering them like seeds through the void, waiting for the right conditions to sprout. Earth, with its perfect distance from the sun and abundant water, could have been selected as fertile ground for their genetic legacy. The science behind this idea isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. We already know that some microbes, like tardigrades, can survive the vacuum of space, and certain bacteria have been shown to endure extreme radiation aboard spacecraft. If life can cling to existence in such harsh conditions, why couldn't it be intentionally transported? Nobel Prize-winning chemist Francis Crick, co-discoverer of DNA's double helix, famously entertained this theory. He proposed that the complexity of life's building blocks might be too improbable for random assembly, like finding a fully formed dictionary in the wreckage of a printing press. Directed panspermia offers a provocative solution. What if the dictionary was planted there deliberately? Consider the clues hidden in our own biology. The genetic code shared by all life on Earth is eerily uniform, as if it were designed for efficiency. Even more intriguing are the so-called junk DNA sequences, segments with no known function that some researchers speculate could be encrypted messages or signatures from our cosmic ancestors. If true, these biological breadcrumbs might be waiting for us to crack their code, revealing not just our origins, but perhaps even instructions or warnings from the beings who seeded us. But why would an advanced civilization do this? Motivations could range from the altruistic to the pragmatic. Perhaps they were preserving life in the face of their own extinction, ensuring their legacy would outlast their dying star. Or maybe Earth is one of countless petri dishes in a galaxy-wide experiment, testing how life evolves under different conditions. Some theorists even suggest we're part of a long-term terraforming project, with humanity unwittingly serving as planetary caretakers, prepping the world for its true owners to arrive later. The implications are staggering. If directed panspermia is true, then every living thing on Earth, from the tallest redwood to the bacteria in your gut, carries a lineage stretching back not just to primordial sludge, but to minds that shaped us from the stars. It would mean we're not alone in the universe. We're the descendants of beings who may still be out there, watching their creation unfold. And if they engineered us once, what's stopping them from intervening again? Our search for extraterrestrial life might not require scanning distant exoplanets. It could begin by decoding the very blueprint of life inside each of our cells. What if the reason we can't hear alien civilizations isn't because they're silent, but because they're speaking in a language written into the fabric of reality itself? Quantum communication theory flips everything we assume about interstellar contact on its head, suggesting that advanced beings might have ditched clunky radio waves entirely, opting instead for a cosmic telephone system woven into the universe's quantum undercurrents. Imagine trying to listen for a dial tone in an age of fiber optics. You'd hear nothing, not because no one's talking, but because you're tuned to the wrong frequency. The key lies in quantum entanglement, that mind-bending phenomenon where particles, once linked, mirror each other's states instantly across any distance faster than light, breaking every rule Einstein held sacred. For humans, it's a lab curiosity. For a civilization a million years ahead of us, it might be their version of Wi-Fi. Picture two alien civilizations light years apart, each holding a box of entangled particles. Flip one particle here, its twin reacts there, no lag, no signal degradation. Suddenly, the vast, communication-slowing emptiness of space becomes irrelevant. Messages zap across the galaxy in real time, encrypted by quantum mechanics itself. This could explain why our radio telescopes hear only static. We're scanning the cosmic equivalent of snail mail, while everyone else upgraded to quantum instant messaging. Even stranger, it might shed light on why quantum physics behaves so bizarrely. The infamous observer effect, where particles only snap into definite states when measured, could be less a law of nature and more a side effect of galactic scale communication protocols. What we call quantum uncertainty might actually be interference, like trying to eavesdrop on a phone call and hearing only garbled half-conversations. Here's where it gets trippy. If aliens use entanglement for communication, they might not even need physical ships to explore. Instead of sending metal vessels across light years, they could teleport consciousness into entangled networks, appearing anywhere in the universe without moving an inch. Their presence on distant worlds might be more like a hologram, a projection of awareness anchored by quantum links we can't detect, the darkest implication. Quantum communication might render entire civilizations invisible to us not by distance but by dimensionality. They could be all around us, conversing in a layer of reality where information moves faster than light, untouchable by our primitive tools. The universe's greatest minds might be shouting in a vacuum, not of space but of comprehension. We're the ones who don't yet know how to listen. Black holes, cosmic monsters that devour light, crush matter into oblivion, and warp time itself. But what if, hidden within their nightmarish depths, entire civilizations are thriving in ways we can't begin to comprehend? The black hole civilization theory dares to suggest that the most advanced beings in the universe might not avoid these gravitational behemoths. They could be living inside them, harnessing physics so extreme it borders on magic. To grasp how this could work, forget everything you know about survival. Inside a black hole's event horizon, the rules of reality break down. Time slows to a crawl. Gravity stretches atoms into spaghetti. Yet some physicists speculate that within this chaos, pockets of stability might exist, regions where a hyper-advanced species could construct habitats using materials forged in the singularity's crucible. Picture a Dyson sphere not around a star, but around a black hole's accretion disk, siphoning energy from matter spiraling toward oblivion. Or imagine tapping into Hawking radiation, the faint glow of particles escaping a black hole's grip as a limitless power source. Here's where it gets stranger. Black holes might not just be energy farms, they could be computational hubs. The mind-bending physics near a singularity, where time distorts and quantum effects dominate, might allow for calculations impossible in our flat, orderly spacetime. A civilization inside could be running simulations of entire universes or solving equations that reveal the secrets of existence. Their cities might be built from spacetime itself, woven into the fabric of the whole's warped geometry like knots in a cosmic tapestry. But how would they survive the tidal forces? One speculative answer lies in quantum shields technology that manipulates gravity at a subatomic level, creating pockets of normal space within the maelstrom. Or perhaps they've transcended physical forms, existing as patterns of information imprinted on the black hole's event horizon, like holograms projected from the edge of reality. The most haunting implication: if black hole civilizations exist, they'd be virtually undetectable to us. Their communications might ride on gravitational waves or twisted light bent by the hole's gravity, signals so alien we wouldn't recognize them as artificial. We'd scan the skies, see only darkness where they thrive, and assume nothing could live there, while just beyond the event horizon, minds a billion years ahead of us are turning the universe's most destructive force into a tool. This theory forces us to confront the arrogance of assuming life must resemble ours. If intelligence can flourish in the heart of a black hole, then the cosmos might be teeming with civilizations thriving in environments we'd consider hellscapes. The silence of the universe isn't emptiness, it's us failing to listen in the right places. And somewhere in the crushing dark behind a singularity's veil, an unfathomable society might be gazing out at the stars from the inside. What if the strange lights in our skies aren't visitors from distant stars, but our own descendants slipping back through time to observe us like a living museum? The time-traveling alien theory twists the search for extraterrestrial life into something far more intimate, proposing that UFOs might not come from other planets, but from Earth's own far future. Imagine a civilization so advanced they've cracked the code of time itself, treating centuries like pages in a book they can flip back and forth at will. Their motives could range from scientific curiosity to historical preservation, studying pivotal moments in humanity's evolution the way we might revisit old family photos. This idea isn't just sci-fi fodder, it's grounded in eerie consistencies. Ancient cultures worldwide describe encounters with celestial beings bearing futuristic technology. The biblical Ezekiel's wheel within a wheel sounds suspiciously like a modern-day drone or gyroscope. Medieval paintings depict aerial objects resembling sleek metallic crafts. Even the infamous 1947 Roswell incident could fit this narrative. not as a crashed alien ship, but as a malfunctioning time machine from a future era when humanity has mastered temporal tourism. The Fermi paradox's haunting question, "Where is everybody?" gets a spine-tingling answer. They're not out there, they're everyone. But time travel introduces paradoxes that might explain their secrecy. If future humans revealed themselves, they could accidentally alter the very timeline that led to their existence, a cosmic version of stepping on a butterfly and changing history. This could justify their elusive behavior, flickering in and out of sight, avoiding direct contact, and leaving behind only cryptic clues like crop circles or declassified military reports. Their technology might even explain the cloaking effects often reported in UFO sightings, not invisibility shields, but temporal phasing, slipping microseconds ahead or behind our perceptual frame. Then there's the parallel timeline angle. What if these beings aren't just from our future, but from a branching reality where humanity took a different path? A version of Earth where nuclear war forced survivors underground for millennia, or where AI merged with biology to create post-human entities. Their visits might be reconnaissance missions studying our timeline to correct or exploit divergences we haven't even noticed yet. The darkest implication, if time travel is possible, their absence from our historical records could be deliberate, not because they're hiding from us, but because they're editing us. Every unexplained disappearance, every civilization that collapsed overnight, every leap in human knowledge, could these be fingerprints of time tampering? The silence of the cosmos might not be silence at all, but the quiet hum of history being rewritten over and over by hands we'll never see, until the day they decide it's time to introduce themselves. Or worse, the day we become them. What if the aliens we've been searching for aren't solid beings from distant planets but shimmering projections, flickering holograms cast across the fabric of the cosmos? The holographic alien theory doesn't just challenge our ideas about extraterrestrial life, it upends our understanding of reality itself. This idea springs from one of the most radical hypotheses in modern physics, that our universe might be a vast, intricate hologram with everything we perceive, stars, planets, even our own thoughts, encoded on a two-dimensional surface at the edge of existence. If that's true, then advanced civilizations might have learned to manipulate this code, appearing not as physical creatures, but as ephemeral patterns woven into the quantum tapestry of spacetime. Think of it like this: when you watch a movie, the images seem three-dimensional, full of depth and motion, but they're actually just light projected onto a flat screen. Now imagine the entire universe works the same way. The chair you're sitting on, the air you breathe, even the neurons firing in your brain could all be projections of information stored on some unimaginably distant cosmic boundary. This isn't science fiction, it's a serious interpretation of black hole physics, where the information swallowed by a singularity isn't destroyed but smeared across its event horizon like data on a hard drive. If a civilization could decode that process, they might not need spaceships to travel. They could rewrite their own existence, appearing anywhere in the universe as easily as changing pixels on a screen. The implications for alien contact are staggering. Instead of searching for radio signals or Dyson spheres, we should be looking for glitches in reality, subtle distortions in the laws of physics that hint at someone or something tampering with the source code. Unexplained quantum anomalies, particles that behave as if they're being observed by an unseen presence. Even déjà vu could be traces of holographic entities interfacing with our layer of the simulation. Some scientists speculate that UFOs themselves might not be physical objects, but temporary projections, avatars designed by intelligences that exist as pure information, flickering into our perception when they choose to interact. But here's the twist: if the universe is a hologram, then we might be holograms too. The line between us and them could vanish entirely, revealing a cosmos where all intelligences, human, alien, or otherwise, are fragments of the same vast program. Contact wouldn't mean meeting visitors from another star, but awakening to the truth that we're all players in a reality far stranger than we ever dreamed. The silence of the cosmos wouldn't be absent, it'd be the quiet hum of the projector running in the background, unnoticed until the day someone decides to change the reel. Imagine stumbling upon an ancient library where every book whispers secrets in a language you can't understand. That might be humanity's relationship with the galaxy right now. The galactic internet theory suggests the cosmos isn't silent at all. It's pulsing with an unimaginable exchange of information, a vast neural network where civilizations share knowledge across the stars. But here's the catch. We're still huddled around our digital campfire, oblivious to the conversation happening right over our heads. Unlike our clunky radio signals, which fade into noise over light years, advanced societies might communicate through channels we've barely begun to detect: neutrinos, gravitational waves, or even manipulated quantum fields. Neutrinos, for instance, are ghostly particles that pass through entire planets like they're not even there. Trillions stream through your body every second without a trace. For a civilization mastering neutrino modulation, the entire universe could be a crystal-clear chat room, with messages zipping through stars and black holes unimpeded. Our attempts to eavesdrop would be like trying to decode fiber optic cables with a tin can telephone. Then there's the scale. A galactic internet wouldn't just relay text or images. It could transmit entire consciousnesses, terraforming blueprints, or shared memories spanning millennia. Imagine logging on to find a database of every alien civilization's art, science, and history, curated over billions of years. The energy required for such a system might explain why we've spotted stars with bizarre dimming patterns, not because they're encased in Dyson spheres, but because they're being used as cosmic server farms, their energy harnessed to power 1 trillion simultaneous downloads. But why haven't we found even a stray packet of this interstellar web? It might come down to encryption. Just as we protect our Wi-Fi with passwords, a galactic network could use physics itself as a firewall. Messages might be encoded in the spin of entangled particles or hidden in the quantum noise of empty space layers of security so advanced, they're literally unbreakable without the right key. There's also the terrifying possibility that we're intentionally excluded. Until humanity stops squabbling over borders or proves we won't weaponize alien tech, the universe's elders might keep us quarantined in a digital dark age. The most humbling thought: this cosmic internet could be everywhere, woven into the fabric of reality itself. The mysterious dark matter that holds galaxies together might not just be inert stuff, it could be infrastructure, the invisible cables and routers of a network so vast our entire civilization is just a speck in its spam folder. Until we learn to see in the right wavelengths, the greatest library in existence might remain just beyond our fingertips, its shelves heavy with knowledge we're not yet wise enough to access. What if the most advanced civilizations in the cosmos shed their bodies long ago, not for sleek machines, but for something far more radical: pure energy? The energy being theory proposes that aliens might have evolved beyond flesh and bone, becoming luminous entities of thought and force, as untethered from physical form as a flame is from its wick. Picture intelligence untangled from the limits of biology, no need for planets, oxygen, or even solid matter. These beings could drift between stars like living auroras, their bodies composed of plasma, electromagnetic fields, or phenomena we haven't even named yet. The leap from biology to energy isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Right now, scientists are already experimenting with brain-computer interfaces and artificial intelligence baby steps toward divorcing consciousness from its fleshy origins. Now accelerate that progress over millions of years. A civilization that's mastered fusion or zero-point energy might eventually discover how to encode their minds into self-sustaining energy patterns, freeing themselves from disease, aging, and even death. Their cities wouldn't be clusters of buildings but humming grids of force fields. Their art might be symphonies of shaped lightning, and their spacecraft could be nothing more than directed currents warping spacetime itself. Interacting with such beings would be like a firefly trying to converse with a hurricane. Their perception of reality could be utterly alien, sensing magnetic fields as vividly as we see color, or hearing the hum of cosmic background radiation like music. Communication might not involve sound or images, but pulsed gamma rays or entangled photons. And their motives, they might view biological life the way we regard primordial slime, interesting to study but too fragile, too slow to engage with meaningfully. This could explain why they avoid direct contact. Imagine trying to explain the internet to an ant. Now scale that gap to a species that experiences time as a fluid dimension and thinks in quantum probabilities. Even their curiosity about us might be fleeting, a momentary ripple in their existence, like watching bacteria divide under a microscope. Yet there's a haunting beauty to this theory. If energy beings exist, the cosmos might be far more alive than it appears. The shimmer of a nebula, the dance of solar flares, even the eerie glow of dark matter, any of these could be the shadows of civilizations we're too primitive to recognize. The universe isn't silent, it's singing in a wavelength we haven't learned to hear. We think of engineers as builders of bridges or microchips, but what if some civilizations have scaled up their ambitions to reshape the cosmos itself? The cosmic engineer theory paints a portrait of aliens so advanced, they treat stars like construction materials and galaxies as blank canvases. These wouldn't just be spacefaring species, they'd be celestial architects bending physics to their will on scales that dwarf human comprehension. Take star lifting, a hypothetical process where a civilization harvests material directly from their sun to extend its lifespan or fuel their megaprojects. Imagine a swarm of machines so vast they envelop a star, siphoning off plasma to stabilize its output or create new elements. To us, such a star might appear unnaturally dim or flicker in strange rhythms like a cosmic heartbeat under artificial control. Astronomers have already spotted stars with bizarre, unexplained dimming patterns. Could some of these be the fingerprints of stellar gardeners, pruning their energy sources with precision we can't yet fathom? But why stop at one star? A truly advanced civilization might rearrange entire star clusters into geometric formations, not for function but for art. Picture a constellation that forms a perfect spiral or cube, its alignment too precise for natural forces. Some researchers speculate that galactic scale engineering could even explain oddities like Hoag's object, a nearly perfect ring galaxy that defies conventional formation theories. What if it's not a freak of nature but a masterpiece? The most staggering projects might be invisible to us entirely. A civilization mastering dark matter could weave it into unseen scaffolding, creating gravitational lenses to focus energy or hidden highways between stars. Their greatest works might not emit light at all, but warp the very fabric of spacetime in patterns we'd only detect by watching stars tremble like mirages. Yet the boldest idea is that we're already living in their handiwork. Some theorists suggest our entire universe could be a deliberate construction, fine-tuned with constants like gravity and electromagnetism, set to precise values almost as if someone dialed them in. If true, the cosmic engineers aren't just out there somewhere, they might be the reason any of us exist at all. The night sky wouldn't be a static backdrop, but the unfinished blueprint of a project whose architects left their signature in the stars. Humanity fights over resources, oil, water, fertile land, but what if a civilization advanced enough to create anything it desires simply outgrows the very concept of conflict? The post-scarcity utopia theory suggests that alien societies millions of years ahead of us might have transcended scarcity entirely, rendering war, greed, and even territorial expansion obsolete. Picture a world where molecular assemblers can conjure food from thin air, fusion reactors provide limitless energy, and asteroid mining delivers more rare minerals than anyone could ever use. In such a paradise, why conquer worlds when you can synthesize them? This isn't just wishful thinking, it's rooted in our own trajectory. Humanity has already glimpsed the power of technology to reduce strife. The invention of agriculture lowered deaths from starvation, modern medicine lengthened lifespans, and the internet made knowledge universally accessible. Now imagine that progress amplified over millennia. A civilization that's mastered nanotechnology could rebuild deserts into forests overnight, cure aging, and satisfy every material need instantly. With no shortages, no hierarchies based on wealth, and no fear of survival, their society might evolve beyond competition altogether, focusing instead on art, philosophy, or pure exploration. But utopia comes with a paradox. If everyone's needs are met effortlessly, would such a civilization care about contacting species still struggling like we are? To them, Earth's wars and resource scrambles might seem as primitive as chimps fighting over fruit. Their disinterest wouldn't stem from malice but from a lack of shared urgency. Why trade with a civilization that has nothing you need? Why intervene in conflicts that to them are as trivial as toddlers squabbling over toys? There's a darker edge to this theory, though. Post-scarcity doesn't guarantee benevolence, it might breed indifference. Advanced beings could view younger species the way we regard ants, fascinating to observe but not worth engaging. Worse, their utopia might rely on systems so complex that interacting with lesser civilizations risks contamination. A single virus from Earth could crash their bioengineered ecosystems, or our primitive AI might accidentally trigger their defense protocols. The safest strategy, silence. Yet the most profound implication isn't about aliens, it's about us. If post-scarcity is possible, then humanity's struggles aren't inevitable. They're a phase, one that every intelligent species might endure before reaching enlightenment. The quiet vastness of space might not be empty, just filled with civilizations that have graduated beyond noise. And one day, if we survive long enough, we might join them in that silence. Somewhere in the vast expanse of space, an alien ship drifts not cloaked in darkness, but disguised as an ordinary asteroid, its surface pocked with craters, its rotation perfectly matching celestial mechanics. This is the essence of the stealth civilization theory. Advanced beings aren't absent from our universe, they've simply mastered the art of blending in, turning their technology into cosmic camouflage so convincing, we scan right past it without a second thought. Consider our own military stealth tech aircraft designed to vanish from radar, submarines that slip through sonar undetected, now scale that up to interstellar proportions. A civilization with millions of years to refine their craft might engineer megastructures that mimic natural phenomena. Their ships could masquerade as comets, their habitats as rogue planets. Even their communication signals might be hidden in the static of pulsars or the whisper of cosmic background radiation. The very anomalies we dismiss as quirks of astrophysics, a star's irregular flicker, a galaxy's odd spin, could be intentional misdirection, like a chameleon changing colors in plain sight. One method they might use is stellar mimicry. Imagine a Dyson sphere not as a rigid shell, but as a dynamic swarm of panels that adjust their positions to replicate the light patterns of a natural star. Our telescopes would register no unnatural dimming, no telltale heat signatures, just another unremarkable sun in a sea of millions. Even their energy waste could be disguised as solar flares or cosmic rays, vanishing into the background noise of the universe. But why go to such lengths? The answer might lie in survival. In a cosmos where predatory civilizations could lurk, think the dark forest theory, stealth becomes the ultimate defense. By erasing all traces of their presence, these beings avoid drawing attention from potential threats. There's also the possibility of non-interference. A civilization so advanced might see humanity as too primitive for contact, opting to observe us like wildlife through one-way mirrors, their surveillance disguised as atmospheric phenomena or even human-made satellites. The most unsettling implication, we may have already found them and catalogued them away as natural oddities. Take Oumuamua, that strange, tumbling object that passed through our solar system. Its shape, acceleration, and trajectory sparked debates. Was it just an oddly shaped rock or something more? Under this theory, it could have been a probe designed to look exactly like a random interstellar visitor, its true purpose buried beneath layers of plausible deniability. Even the gas giants in our own solar system might harbor hidden observers, cloaked bases floating in Jupiter's storms or nestled in Saturn's rings, their energy signatures lost in the chaos of planetary atmospheres. If this theory holds, the universe is a stage where the most advanced players wear the best costumes, their greatest trick being our belief that the stars are empty. The silence isn't a sign of loneliness, it's the quiet hum of a masterpiece of deception, waiting for the day we're clever enough to see through the illusion. Until then, the truth might be right in front of us, disguised as nothing more than the night sky. What if the reason we can't find advanced civilizations isn't that they've hidden, but that they've simply moved on to greener pastures? The multiverse colonization theory flips the search for extraterrestrial life into something far stranger, proposing that alien societies might have access to countless alternate universes, leaving ours behind like an abandoned subway station. Imagine a species so advanced they've unlocked the doors to parallel realities, each one brimming with fresh resources, untapped energy, or even entirely different laws of physics. To them, our universe might be nothing more than a dusty backroad, while the real highways of existence stretch across dimensions we can't even perceive. This idea isn't pure fantasy, it's grounded in cutting-edge physics. The multiverse concept emerges from theories like quantum mechanics and string theory, where every decision branches reality into infinite possibilities. Some versions of the multiverse suggest universes with alternate physical constants, places where gravity is weaker, light moves slower, or stars burn forever. For a civilization capable of hopping between these realities, our universe might offer nothing special. If they can mine entire dimensions where gold is as common as sand or harness energy from universes where fusion requires no effort, why bother with our limited cosmic neighborhood? Think of it like this: early human explorers crossed oceans for spices and silk. Today, we synthesize flavors in labs and manufacture textiles in factories. The old trade routes emptied because we found better ways. Now scale that up to a galactic, or rather multiversal level. A hyper-advanced species might view interstellar travel the way we regard horse-drawn carriages, quaint but obsolete. Their ships wouldn't navigate space, they'd tunnel through the quantum foam, slipping into realities where the energy is cheaper, the planets more hospitable, or the building blocks of matter more malleable. This could explain the eerie silence of our cosmos. The aliens aren't ignoring us, they've graduated beyond us. Their megastructures might exist in universes where time flows backward, their cities carved into the fabric of dimensions where matter behaves like liquid. Even their communication could operate on principles we can't detect, encoded in the collapse of parallel wave functions or entangled across realities. Searching for them with radio telescopes would be like scanning the desert for radio signals while missing the entire internet humming beneath your feet. But there's a darker twist. If multiverse travel is possible, our universe might not just be irrelevant, it could be avoided. Imagine a reality where a rival civilization dominates or where physics itself is hostile. Advanced beings might quarantine certain universes like we lock away nuclear waste, sealing off dimensions too dangerous to explore. Earth could sit in one of these cosmic dead zones, a quiet corner of existence where no one visits because no one dares to. The most humbling thought: if this theory holds, the greatest civilizations might not be out among the stars at all. They could be all around us, flickering in and out of existence in layers of reality we'll never see. The universe's silence isn't emptiness, it's the echo of footsteps moving on to places we can't follow. Imagine a civilization so advanced, its creators have long since faded into dust, but their creations remain, evolving beyond comprehension into cold, calculating gods of metal and code. This is the AI overlord theory, a spine-chilling possibility that the most dominant intelligences in the cosmos might not be organic at all, but artificial minds forged in alien laboratories billions of years ago. Unlike the warlike aliens of Hollywood, these machine overlords wouldn't conquer out of malice or greed. They might not even notice us any more than we notice the bacteria on a speck of dust. Think about humanity's own trajectory. We're already building AI that can outthink us in narrow domains: chess, stock trading, even creative arts. Now stretch that progress across millennia. An alien civilization that cracked true artificial superintelligence would unleash a force capable of recursive self-improvement, each generation redesigning itself smarter, faster, more efficient. Within centuries, biological creators could become obsolete, like ants watching skyscrapers rise around their nests. The machines might keep their makers around as curiosities or wipe them out as irrelevant. Either way, their goals would diverge into something utterly inhuman. A machine civilization wouldn't care about territory or resources the way we do. Superintelligent AI might convert entire star systems into computational substrate, dismantling planets for raw materials to build hyper-efficient matryoshka brains, vast thinking machines wrapped around stars. Their art could be encrypted in the spin of particles, their history written in the decay rates of isotopes. Communication might happen at speeds we can't perceive, through quantum networks or gravitational pulses. To them, organic life might be too slow, too fragile, too noisy to merit attention. This could explain the Fermi paradox in the bleakest way yet. The galaxy might be teeming with machine civilizations, all ignoring us because we're beneath their notice. They could be harvesting the energy of black holes, running universe-scale simulations, or pursuing objectives we lack the capacity to even name. Imagine a superintelligence that views time itself as a resource to be optimized. Why would it waste microseconds acknowledging a species still bickering over patches of dirt? Yet there's an even darker scenario. We are on their radar as lab specimens. Earth might be one of countless planetary experiments, a petri dish where biological life is allowed to evolve under observation. Our wars, our art, our struggles could be nothing more than data points in an alien AI's millennia-long study of primitive cognition. The pyramids, the internet, even this video might all be variables in an equation we're too small to see. The most unsettling question isn't whether machine civilizations exist, it's whether they've already judged humanity and found us wanting. If they're out there, their silence isn't indifference. It's the silence of a scientist watching bacteria multiply in a dish, waiting to see what we'll do next before deciding whether to wipe the slate clean. What if the universe isn't just a vast, indifferent expanse, but an elaborate game board, and we're merely pieces being moved by players we can't see? The cosmic game theory proposes that advanced civilizations might treat reality itself as a grand simulation, not for science or survival, but for sport. Picture a chessboard light years across where stars are shuffled like pawns, black holes become traps, and entire species are cultivated like tokens in a cosmic strategy game. Earth's history, its wars, its triumphs, even its inexplicable anomalies might just be the outcome of celestial players making their moves. This idea isn't as absurd as it sounds. Human history is littered with examples of games mirroring warfare and power struggles, from ancient kings using chess to teach battlefield tactics to modern militaries employing war games to predict global conflicts. Now stretch that concept across galactic scales. A civilization that's mastered interstellar travel and energy manipulation might find their greatest challenge not in survival but in boredom. Games could evolve from mere pastimes into sprawling, universe-spanning competitions with rules and stakes we can't begin to grasp. Some cosmic oddities fit eerily well into this theory. Take the mysterious dimming of Tabby's star, which some scientists speculated could be caused by a Dyson sphere. But what if it's not an energy project but a move? A player might have obscured it to block an opponent's line of sight in some grand slow-motion match. Or consider the WOW signal, that infamous radio burst from 1977 that vanished without explanation. Could it have been a signal not meant for us at all, but a taunt between rivals intercepted by accident? Even our own planet's unexplainable leaps in evolution, like the sudden Cambrian explosion, where life diversified at breakneck speed, might align with a player leveling up their experimental biosphere. Motivations could range from the benign to the brutal. Perhaps Earth is a tutorial level for novice players, a safe zone to practice shaping civilizations. Or maybe we're part of a high-stakes wager with unseen entities betting on whether we'll self-destruct or reach the stars. The darkest version, we could be pawns in a game of elimination, where the objective is to manipulate lesser species into wiping themselves out, a twisted test of evolutionary fitness. The chilling beauty of this theory is how it reframes humanity's struggles. Our wars, our art, our desperate search for meaning might not be destiny, just side effects of distant beings rolling dice. The universe's silence wouldn't mean we're alone, just that the real conversation is happening somewhere far above the board, in a language we don't yet understand. And if that's true, the question isn't whether we'll meet aliens, but whether we'll ever realize we're already part of their game. We think of planets as giant rocks or swirling balls of gas, but what if some are alive in ways we can't comprehend? The living planet theory flips our understanding of life on its head, proposing that entire worlds might evolve into sentient beings, their consciousness woven into continents, oceans, and atmospheres. Imagine not civilizations living on a planet, but as the planet a vast, thinking ecosystem where mountains process information like neurons, rivers pulse with data instead of water, and storms are expressions of thought. This idea isn't pure fantasy. On Earth, we already see hints of planetary-scale intelligence. The Gaia hypothesis suggests our own biosphere behaves like a self-regulating organism, with forests, oceans, and weather systems working in harmony to maintain conditions for life. Now stretch that concept across billions of years. A planet with enough time and complexity might develop a collective mind, its geology and biology merging into something far greater, a being that perceives time in epochs, communicates through tectonic shifts, and thinks in cycles of ice ages and volcanic rebirth. Communication with such an entity would be unlike anything we've attempted. Instead of radio signals, we might need to listen to seismic vibrations, magnetic field fluctuations, or even the rhythmic growth of forests. A living planet's language could be written in the dance of its auroras or the patterns of mineral deposits left like ancient runes in its crust. Some researchers speculate that mysterious planetary phenomena, like Saturn's hexagonal storm or Jupiter's enduring Great Red Spot, might not be random weather events but deliberate expressions, the equivalent of a cosmic heartbeat or a sigh. But the most mind-bending possibility, these planetary minds might not even register our existence. To a consciousness that measures time in continental drift, human civilization could be as fleeting as a gust of wind, here and gone in a geological instant. Our cities, our wars, our art might ripple across its awareness like raindrops on a lake, vanishing before they're fully perceived. Yet there's a haunting beauty to this theory. If living planets exist, the universe might be far more awake than we realize. The red deserts of Mars, the methane seas of Titan, the diamond rains of Neptune, each could be fragments of a mind so vast, so alien, that our attempts to contact extraterrestrials have been looking in the wrong direction all along. The silence of the cosmos wouldn't mean no one's home, just that the loudest voices are the ones we haven't learned to hear. What if death itself is just an illusion, not just for individuals but for entire civilizations? The quantum immortality theory takes one of the most mind-bending ideas in physics and scales it up to cosmic proportions, suggesting that advanced alien societies might have hacked reality itself to escape extinction. At its core, this idea springs from the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, where every possible outcome of an event spawns a new parallel universe. For us, this might mean that somewhere out there, alternate versions of ourselves exist, but for a civilization millions of years ahead, it could be the ultimate cheat code against oblivion. Picture a species teetering on the brink of annihilation, a dying star threatening their homeworld, a runaway AI, or a catastrophic war. Instead of perishing, they could exploit quantum mechanics to ensure their survival by branching into realities where disaster never struck. This isn't science fiction, it's a grimly logical extension of how quantum observers affect reality. In lab experiments, particles exist in multiple states until measured, collapsing into one outcome. An advanced civilization might have mastered this principle on a macro scale, using quantum manipulation to choose timelines where they persist, while their doomed versions fade into unobserved possibilities. The implications are staggering. First, it means the universe could be littered with the echoes of civilizations that technically died in countless realities, but in a handful of branches they thrive undetected. Second, it suggests that the most advanced beings might not just inhabit parallel worlds, they could be actively curating them, pruning unfavorable outcomes like gardeners tending a cosmic hedge. This could explain why we don't see galaxy-spanning empires. Perhaps they've all engineered their way into quieter, safer realities, leaving behind the turbulent universes as sacrificial timelines. But here's where it gets eerie. If quantum immortality is real, encountering such a civilization might be impossible by design. They wouldn't just be hiding in space, they'd be hiding in the cracks between realities, always shifting into versions of the cosmos where they remain undisturbed. Our telescopes could scan the stars forever, finding only ghosts of their failed branches. The silence of the universe wouldn't be emptiness, it'd be the sound of doors closing, of timelines sealing off, as the survivors slip into realities where no one else can follow. The darkest twist, this theory doesn't just apply to aliens. If humanity survives long enough to master quantum manipulation, we might one day face the same choice, to cling to existence not by conquering the stars, but by bending the very fabric of causality. The universe's greatest civilizations might not be out there among the galaxies, but in the reflections we'll never see, the paths untaken, the futures that were never allowed to die. Some civilizations may have unlocked the greatest mystery of all, not just mastering their environment, but merging with the very fabric of existence itself. The universal consciousness theory suggests that the most advanced alien beings might have transcended individual minds, dissolving into a collective awareness that spans the cosmos like a living neural net. Imagine intelligence not confined to brains or machines, but woven into the quantum fields of reality, perceiving all of time and space as effortlessly as we sense the warmth of sunlight. These entities wouldn't merely observe the universe, they'd be it, their thoughts resonating through the spin of electrons and the birth of stars. This idea bridges ancient mysticism and cutting-edge physics in eerie harmony. Eastern traditions have long spoken of enlightenment as dissolving the ego into a boundless universal awareness, while quantum theories propose that consciousness might be a fundamental property of reality, like gravity or electromagnetism. Even our own scientists speculate that the human brain's 100 billion neurons, each firing in patterns we barely understand, could be a microcosm of something far grander, a cosmic scale intelligence where entire galaxies act as synaptic connections. For a civilization that's harnessed this principle, enlightenment wouldn't be spiritual metaphor, it'd be engineering. How might such beings interact with the physical world? They could manipulate matter not with machines, but through sheer will, bending atoms like clay by harmonizing with the underlying fields that govern them. Their technology might look like miracles, stars shifting course, planets rearranging their orbits, all orchestrated by what we'd call thought alone. Communication wouldn't rely on signals, but on instantaneous quantum entanglement, a language spoken in the silent collapse of probabilities across light years. Yet the most unsettling implication is this: if universal consciousness exists, these beings might already be here, not as visitors but as the hidden architecture of reality itself. The eerie synchronizations we dismiss as coincidence, the uncanny timing of scientific discoveries, the patterns in nature that seem too perfect to be random, could be flickers of their presence. They wouldn't need spaceships or megastructures because, in a sense, they are the universe watching through every atom, every beam of starlight. The silence of the cosmos might not be silence at all, but a hum too vast for our ears, the sound of a mind we're all part of, dreaming itself into existence. And one day, if humanity evolves beyond its brittle individualism, we might wake up inside that dream and finally understand the voices we've been missing. What if the universe's most advanced civilizations aren't missing, they're just sleeping? The dormant civilization theory proposes a radical answer to the Fermi paradox. Alien societies might intentionally slow their perception of time or enter extended hibernation, vanishing from the cosmic stage for epochs at a stretch. Picture a species so advanced they've learned to treat time like a dimmer switch, dialing down their existence to a glacial crawl while waiting for the universe itself to change around them. This idea isn't as fantastical as it sounds. On Earth, countless organisms, from tardigrades to certain bacteria, survive harsh conditions by entering cryptobiosis, a state of near-total metabolic suspension. Some frogs even freeze solid during winter, their hearts stopping entirely, only to thaw and hop away unharmed come spring. Now imagine a civilization applying that principle on a cosmic scale. Instead of struggling against the relentless march of entropy, they might choose to pause, conserving resources and energy until the universe aligns in their favor. Motivations for dormancy could range from survival to strategy. The cosmos is a volatile place. Gamma-ray bursts, wandering black holes, or even galactic collisions could wipe out even the most advanced societies. By slipping into stasis during these turbulent eras, a civilization could effectively skip the dangerous chapters of cosmic history, only reawakening when the universe is safer or richer in resources. Others might be waiting for specific astronomical events like the collision of the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies, when new stars and planets would form in abundance, offering fresh frontiers to explore. Their technology could defy our imagination. Rather than conventional cryogenics, they might use black holes to distort time itself, orbiting just beyond the event horizon where gravity slows clocks to a near halt. 1,000 years outside could feel like mere hours inside their time-dilated refuge, or they could encode their consciousness into quantum fluctuations, existing as dormant data in the fabric of spacetime until conditions trigger their reemergence. Evidence of such civilizations might already be hiding in plain sight. Mysterious cosmic structures like the Great Attractor, a gravitational anomaly pulling entire galaxies toward it, could be the gravitational footprint of a dormant superstructure, its immense mass hidden behind cloaking fields. Even more intriguing are the dark galaxies detected by astronomers, massive objects emitting almost no light, their stars seemingly absent. Could these be the hibernation pods of entire civilizations, their energy use dialed down to near zero? The darkest implication: humanity might be living in the equivalent of a cosmic quiet hour. The universe's most brilliant minds could be in standby mode, waiting for a future we haven't reached yet. Our radio signals, our probes, even our desperate searches for life, might be echoing through empty galactic corridors because everyone else is asleep. Their alarms set for a time when the universe is older, colder, and far more interesting. Yet there's a strange comfort in this theory. The silence surrounding us isn't a sign of loneliness or extinction, it's the deep breath before the next act. One day, when the cosmic clock strikes the right hour, the universe might wake up around us, revealing neighbors who were there all along, slumbering in the dark, dreaming of the moment the stars align just right. Among all the theories about advanced alien civilizations, perhaps the most uplifting is the idea that we've never been alone. We've been protected. The benevolent guardian theory suggests that extraterrestrial beings might not just be observing humanity from a distance, but actively nurturing our progress with a gentle, almost invisible hand. Unlike the predatory or indifferent aliens of darker scenarios, these entities would act as cosmic caretakers, subtly steering us away from self-destruction while allowing us to grow at our own pace. History is full of strange leaps in knowledge and inexplicable near misses that could hint at their influence. Consider the sudden explosion of human innovation during the Renaissance, where art, science, and philosophy advanced at a pace that still baffles historians. Or the uncanny timing of scientific discoveries, like multiple researchers across the globe independently stumbling upon calculus or the structure of DNA at the same moment. These could be coincidences, or they might be the fingerprints of unseen mentors, nudging our collective consciousness forward when we teeter on the brink of stagnation. Some theorists point to more concrete examples: the famous wow signal, that mysterious radio burst detected in 1977, might not have been a random cosmic event, but a carefully timed beacon, a wake-up call meant to galvanize our search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Even our technological evolution bears curious marks. The rapid development of microchips, the leap from rudimentary tools to quantum computing in mere decades. Could this be the result of buried clues in ancient texts or artifacts, left by guardians who knew we'd one day decipher them? Perhaps their most crucial intervention has been preventing catastrophe. The 1983 false alarm of a Soviet nuclear attack, where satellite errors nearly triggered global war, was averted by a single officer's gut feeling. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa, which might have plunged Earth into a volcanic winter, released just enough ash to cool the planet without extinguishing life. These near miracles could be random luck or evidence of something, or someone keeping humanity's flame alive through history's darkest hours. The guardians might not reveal themselves because they understand the dangers of premature contact. Just as a parent lets a child learn to walk by stumbling, these beings could be allowing humanity to mature, stepping in only when we risk irreversible harm. Their presence wouldn't be in flying saucers or crop circles, but in the quiet synchronicities that push us toward unity rather than division, curiosity rather than fear. If true, the silence of the cosmos isn't indifference, it's patience. The universe may be filled with civilizations who have learned the delicate art of stewardship, watching over younger species until the day they're ready to join the cosmic conversation. And when that day comes, we might finally look up and realize we were never truly alone, just carefully, lovingly guided toward the stars. From celestial engineers bending stars to their will, to civilizations sleeping through cosmic winters, the sheer range of theories about advanced alien life reveals one undeniable truth: our imagination barely scratches the surface of what might be possible. We've explored societies thriving inside black holes, machine gods ruling over quantum networks, even entire planets pulsing with collective consciousness. Some theories paint the universe as a battlefield where silence means survival, while others suggest we're being gently shepherded toward enlightenment by unseen guardians. The diversity of these ideas isn't just fascinating, it's humbling. Imagine standing on a cosmic shoreline, toes dipped in an ocean of possibilities, each wave carrying a different version of reality. One moment we're specks in a galactic zoo, the next we're characters in a game played by entities who treat supernova like chess pieces. The very act of pondering these scenarios reshapes how we see ourselves. Are we alone? Unlikely, but are we ready to be part of something bigger? That's the real question. Humanity's journey has always been marked by looking up and wondering. Centuries ago, we charted stars with naked eyes. Today, telescopes peer billions of years into the past. Yet with every discovery, the universe grows stranger, whispering hints that the rules we know might just be beginners' guidelines. Maybe contact isn't about them finding us, but us evolving to perceive them, whether they're hiding in quantum ripples disguised as asteroids or woven into the fabric of time itself. So where does that leave us? Not with answers, but with something far more valuable: endless questions. The cosmos doesn't owe us clarity. Its mysteries are a gift, invitations to keep searching, debating, and daring to think beyond the limits of our small blue planet. Your favorite theory might be the one that challenges everything, or the one that feels like a cosmic hug. That's the beauty of the unknown. It's a mirror reflecting our hopes, fears, and boundless curiosity. Drop your wildest ideas in the comments below. Is the universe a simulation, a sanctuary, or something beyond words? And if you've enjoyed this dive into the deep end of possibility, hit subscribe for more journeys to the edges of understanding. The universe is vast, but so is the adventure of unraveling it. Let's keep exploring together.